This is LP Giobbi.
Listen up, children.
You are listening to Femme House Radio.
I said listen up, children.
On Diplo's Revolution, Sirius XM.
A wonderful night is made as much by the dancers as the music. Guided as much by the spirit of joy in the room as by the hand which reaches for the next record. Each of us has a role in tonight's experience. We all play in the band.
This is LP Giobbi, and I founded Femme House, a 501c3 foundation and educational platform that teaches the technical areas of music making for women, non-binary, trans, and other marginalized gender identities. Every week, I will be interviewing and spotlighting women in music while bringing you the best dance tunes from around the world. Our next guest on Femme House Radio is a producer, singer, BBC Radio 1 host, and overall hostess with the mostest, mixing up this industry in the best possible way. This year, she was the voice of the Smirnoff Equalizing music documentary, and she hosted the Pioneer DJ London Sound Academy's Level Up series, supporting female DJs and producers. She is about to play all the big festivals, from Bigfoot Festival to Night Tales to Loosefoot, and behind the decks, she has supported the likes of Honey Dijon, Hot Since 82, and Heidi. Hello, Sarah. Welcome to Femme House Radio.
Hi.
Hi. So congratulations on taking over the Friday night 8 p.m. slot on BBC Radio 1 starting in September as the new host of Future Dance. Where were you and what was your reaction when you found out that this was happening? Walk us through that moment.
Okay. So on the Friday, I was hosting for Annie Mac. I was covering her show, and I've only covered like 4 shows on Radio 1 at that time. So that was on the Friday. I had the most amazing experience. I nearly cried at the end of the show because I just enjoyed it so much, and I felt really emotional. I was just like, I've always dreamed of doing this, and I never thought it would happen, and it happened. So that was on the Friday. Saturday, I can't remember what I did on the Saturday. The Sunday, I was DJing in Brixton in London, and we had a few drinks, had a few more drinks. So I was a little bit hungover the next day. And I was lying in bed. I wasn't in bed, I'd been up, but I got back into bed. And I was watching Line of Duty, which is a big show over in the UK. It's like a big police, like a cop TV show. And I got the phone call from the boss. And he said, "What are you doing right now?" And I thought, I better not tell him I'm hungover. And I said to him, I'm lying on my bed watching Line of Duty. Why? He's like, "Well, I think you're going to remember this conversation for a very long time. I'd like to offer you a job on Radio 1. I was like, "What?"
I'm literally getting goosebumps right now.
Honestly, it was crazy. I just was not expecting it. Like, I just covered the show for Annie on the Friday, and I'd covered for Danny, and then I did the cover for Annie on New Year's Day, and I just was not expecting it. And so he was like, right, it was 1 o'clock. And he said, right, I need to have a press release by 2. So tell me what you want to say to the press. And I was like, all right. So then this guy from the BBC rang me to chat to me. He was on the phone for half an hour just having a frigging proper jolly, having a chat. And I was like, this is great, but I need to get a press release to you in half an hour now. So then I sat with my boyfriend on my bed, and then I rang my manager, and I was like, right, what do we say? I've never done this before. And then after that, I went to, I was planning to go to a place called Epping Forest, which is near Essex, or in Essex actually, and just have a day in this forest, just chilling in the sunshine. And I remember lying down in the grass and was just in the sunshine, and I kind of was thinking to myself, this is probably the last day, because the news and the announcement was the very next day. And I was lying there thinking, this is the last day of kind of normality, of no one knowing. And yeah, it felt really weird. And then so I had a little nap, lie down, and then I put my phone on, and Pete Tong followed me on Instagram, and I was like, oh, it's started, oh my God.
Such a beautiful moment.
And then, the next morning it was announced, and so it was all very quick. And I rang my mum, that's why I say, because I'm from up north, and told her at 9 a.m. and said, look, I've got some news. I've got a job on Radio 1. And she was like, what? She's just was over the moon. And then Annie announced she was leaving at 9:15, and I just burst out crying because I didn't know she was completely leaving. I knew that she might have been leaving maybe one show, but I didn't know she was leaving completely. So I was mourning her leaving. I was like, I'm so sad she's leaving. Like, I'm not going to be able to hear her on the radio anymore. But also like, oh, but I'm actually getting a job there, so this is really good.
Yeah.
So I hid in my bedroom for 2 hours because my housemates are downstairs, and they were texting me going, "Are you going to come downstairs?" And I was like, I just couldn't stop crying. And then I got a text from the boss saying, "Are you coming onto this Zoom at 11 o'clock?" And I didn't see the email because I was too busy like on phone calls and crying. And I was like, yeah. So I literally had 3 minutes to put my makeup on, went to the Zoom, and I didn't realise the whole company was on the Zoom. Like, 100 people or something on it. It was everyone. And then Pete Tong was like, "Well done, Sarah." And I was like, oh my God, my face is red. Like, I look a mess. I was like, sorry guys, I've just been crying all morning. Don't mind me.
This is amazing. I love Pete. He is the best. That is so beautiful. Well, congratulations. That is a huge moment in your journey. So I'm so glad
that was a very big explanation, by the way, of how I felt.
That's exactly what I wanted. That is a very huge moment for you. So thank you for walking us through that. This is the thing. This is something that I'm actually really excited to talk to you about. Did you know that what you guys are creating over in the UK right now, you're like creating the coolest girl gang ever? And I had Jaguar on the show, and I had Tisha on the show, and I've said this to both of them, and so I really want to say this to you. Like, it's like you're creating this like really super awesome yet welcoming like cool girl table, and I like desperately want to sit at it. It's like you guys have so many, like Baklava, Tisha, you, Jaguar, like there's this like super cool thing happening over there, and we don't have that in the US. We don't have a response to that yet, and it's really annoying and frustrating. I'm hoping that it will start to bubble. I've started this nonprofit called Femme House to like try to like you know, make that happen over here desperately. But it's so cool that you guys have. Why do you think that is? Like, why is there all of a sudden this insane amount of talent popping up there? Female-driven talent.
I think it's about there's been a lot of focus on it over the last few years. I did the Smirnoff for Equalising Music campaign, which was, I was like the voice and the presenter when we went to snowbombing. We spoke to Peggy Goo and obviously Jaguar. We met on the shoot together. That was the first time we ever met. And I was the host, and she was one of the girls. That had 10 girls that entered the competition, and we did an interview. I did an interview with the Blessed Madonna, and Jaguar was there. And Jaguar was doing a DJ workshop with her, and we filmed it, and we met, and we just clicked instantly, me and Jaguar. I just met her, and I was like, "You're a star, like you're a babe." And we just stayed in touch. And I think the thing about the UK is that we've had the great people on air to look up to, like Annie Mac and B-Traits. Who else have we had? We've had Mary Jane Hobbs, all the people from like the older generation of people. And I think there's been a focus, and I think when you see people doing stuff, you know, if I see a woman DJing, I can go, okay, I can relate to that, and I can do that too. And I think the more people have seen it, and it's definitely, I've really noticed change over the last 3 or 4 years, definitely. But also, I suppose in the UK, we're lucky because it's a tiny country, right? It's a tiny place. So, you know, if you're in Manchester and you want to go to London to go clubbing, it takes you 2.5 hours on the train. In the US, obviously, it's massive. You have to fly. So we're lucky in the sense that if us girls wanted to go and hang out, or we wanted to even just cross paths to meet, it's just easier.
It's easier.
Yeah, it's just easier. And I think, I think we're lucky because a lot of us live in London as well. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's become a real big focus over the last few years, and people are really putting the foot down and saying, you know, I don't want to be on a lineup if it's just full of men. And that's what we have to do.
And that's so cool that even though, I mean, I feel like we have been saying that over here, but there haven't really been any changes. So I think it's really cool that you that you are seeing that over there. I mean, it gives me hope for over here. And like, yes, maybe obviously the places that we live are like set up differently, and the US is so big, but I don't think that I hope that we eventually start reflecting what you guys are doing. It's just so it's so inspiring to me. And honestly, one of the reasons why I obviously I fantasize like the kind of sets that I could play over there that you can't really play over here in the US. You know, like we have like 1 hour festival sets and you have to like bang it out. And it's like this tech house scene is like huge over here and it's whatever. It's what it is. But I'm part of the whatever. Part of the reason that I'm just so excited
It'll
to go
die down,
too.
don't worry.
Like
we'll stamp it out.
And honestly, I played, this is like, I'm not going to name names, but I played, this weekend was so interesting. I played at this big, like there's only a few major clubs in LA, and like bottle service clubs is what I mean. So I played one of those Friday night, and then I played like a kind of a mainstream festival Saturday, and then I played a club on Sunday. And the first two sets, like I felt like, oh man, like I know what I should be playing, and it should be like tech house bassy stuff. Yeah. But like I refused and I did it. And then on Sunday I got
and what was the reaction like? How did it feel when you were playing?
I mean, I have it's so interesting being like a producer DJ because I have songs that I've come to see. So like if I play those, I think it's okay, you know? But in between, I do think that it could have like gone off better if I played harder stuff or you know, what everybody else is playing at these festivals and these events. But then on Sunday I got to go play a club in Houston. I got to play a 3-hour set instead of, you know, an hour. And I just got to like go on a journey, and I guess I imagine that the UK is like, you always get to do that. So I had this idea that it's anyways, it was so, I was like, oh, I like this so much more. It was really interesting, but part of the reason that, you know, not just because of the music, but also because of the like female empowerment scene you guys are creating over there. I'm so excited to go over there and working with Jenna. I feel like all of Jenna's clients are like amazing, badass women. It's just it's so cool to see that I feel like that they care about cultivating that too, and like giving stages and support to those artists such as yourself. Yeah,
massively. And you know, the promoters over here, I know like the guys that run Warehouse Project and Printworks and stuff, they're really supportive and they're really great guys, and they really want to make sure that there is a change, and I do see it happening. And there is a thing now where not every DJ, but some DJs are putting it in their rider that they will not play on a lineup unless it is equal, you know, like
you're kidding
non-binary.
me.
Honestly, it's a thing, and I shared it actually a few weeks ago. My friend Absolute, who's now with WME with the Luminous hair, do you know Absolute?
I have a like talking point to talk about him because what is the personal part?
Yeah, it's a he.
Okay, he is. I discovered him on your Instagram, and I saw that Baklava was singing with him.
Yeah, I mean, how amazing.
and they were on a boat or something like that, and
that was a mixed mag thing. Yeah,
that was. And then the next day I got a DM from Jenna, and she was like, I was just at the Absolute show. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this person. Like, here's all the music. Check this out. And I play the String Theory track, whatever. I play that all the time, and I didn't even. I mean, sometimes I'm so bad at like really connecting. I love him.
And you know what, right? You'll even love him even more when you meet him, because he is the nicest guy ever. So I met him, I tagged him on something on Instagram at the start of this year. It was the Piano Theory track. And he messaged me back and was like, oh, hey babe, and we just started chatting. And I knew within like 3 messages on Instagram we were going to get on really well. So he messaged me and said, I live in such and such place. And I was like, I live down the street from you. So we met up and went for a walk, and we didn't leave each other for 12 hours. We had so much fun. We rolled around on my kitchen floor. My face was hurting from laughing that much. I was like, you need to, we left my house at 6 a.m. I was like, we had so much fun.
You are kidding me.
And we've just become really good friends. He's wicked. And he's an amazing musician as well. He's really good.
And also, so his show seemed to be, because like Jenna sent me some videos and I was like, wait, what is this? It's not a DJ rig? Is it a live show, it looks like?
Yeah, so he was playing all of his tracks from his album live. So he was basically, I think I don't know the ins and outs of playing live, but he's producing his tunes live, if you know what I mean. So he's got loops of different parts of the tracks and playing it all live. I don't know how he does it.
Because I saw a keyboard up there, and I saw, like that's so. I am so after watching and then I went to Baklava's page and like saw some stuff she posted. I am obsessed with him. Like his music is amazing, and his energy and his like his
he just
quirkiness.
Dances around. Yes,
yeah, it's unbelievable.
He's great.
Okay, I'm so happy happy to hear you say that. Okay, so as you are a producer and you are a singer, and I am so jealous of that. I feel like half of my job is just like desperately trying to find a singer to like make my track accessible. So how cool that you can just do that yourself. Do you love being able to do that, or do you ever plan on working with other singers, or do you always plan to be the singer for your tracks?
Oh no, like I'm actually open to work with anybody. So I've been singing and songwriting. Well, I started doing it when I was about 20, and then I stopped when I started working in radio full time because I couldn't quite find the right people to work with. I wasn't really enjoying the music I was making, and I just wanted to focus more on broadcasting. So that's what I did. And then about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I started getting into it again because I was singing live over my DJ sets. And I would sing like, just like a couple of tracks, but stuff that people might know but might not know, like quite underground tunes, like FCL, It's You, if you know that track. But it's a great tune. Cool. It's wicked, I'll send it to you. But that's like a big Berghain Panorama track, the FCL version of it. It's just a good vocal tune. And so I started doing that, met these guys, and they were like, do you want to write some music with us? And then it all started again from there. And then wrote some tracks with different people. And then in lockdown, I was like, I need to learn how to even just cobble together like an idea, because I feel like I've got all of this I've got it in my head, but I didn't know how to get it down. And it was frustrating me. So I did like a course on Zoom and did like 6 sessions with Ableton and just messed around, and I really got into it and really enjoyed it. And then I would kind of make an idea with my vocals on it, take it to a team, like a production team, and they would kind of basically make it so it's like, so you can play it on the radio basically. Because obviously I'd only been doing it for a few months.
Totally.
And I found out, and I worked out a way, because I was like, how do I work out what key I want this in? Because I always come up with, I'd like sing a bass line or something. I'm like, I want it to sound like that. So I'd found this app, and it was called Nail the Pitch. And I sang into it, and it would show you the notes of where it would be in MIDI. So I'd be like, oh, I'm in that key. So I would screenshot. This is a really weird, long way around of doing it, but this worked. So I'd screenshot it, and then I'd draw it in on MIDI, and I'm like, oh my God, that's the sound. So I'd just find weird ways of like working things out. This is
amazing. What a clever, smart worker. Good for you. I think most people just be like, I don't know what it is. Boom, moving on. The fact that you're like, let me find an app that can do this, and I'm going to screenshot it, and then I'm going to, like, good for you.
Yeah, because I use my voice to, like, work things out. I'm like, right, okay, I want it to sound like this. And if I can, most of the time I sing in tune, hopefully. So you can generally get it right. But yeah, so
how cool to use your singing skills to then help you produce is really cool. That's very smart.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow. Well, so I don't know if you know much about Femme House, but that's a nonprofit that I started, and we offer free monthly workshops and online courses to women, non-binary, trans folks to teach Ableton. They're all courses in Ableton, like drum programming to MIDI concepts to like recording your vocals, whatever, Ableton is a big supporter of it, and gives out free licenses to people who take the courses. We just launched She Is the Producer, which is like a collaboration between Femme House and Alicia Keys' nonprofit. She Is the Music. And we had 3,000 people sign up in a day. It was insane.
Wow.
But anyways, they're available to anybody all over the world. So if you ever like want to like fine tune on something, let me know and I can send you any of the courses. But I think that's so cool. So you started learning this all in the lockdown? This is crazy.
So I started learning in lockdown, and then to be honest, I think then as things started getting busier and I was doing more Radio 1 stuff and stuff, I kind of stopped. So I had a good like 3 or 4 months where I was at it, but I need to get my head back into it again. And I've been making more music, but just with lots of different people, which has been great. And I'm feeling very lucky that I'm being approached now to work with people, and yeah, it's very exciting.
Well, I'm sure you're about to get approached left and right. I mean, I'm going to send you some tracks, okay?
Yeah, send me some music.
Honestly, I mean, what like the platform that you have and the human that you are, and I think that you're poised to really truly do anything that you want to do on this planet. So that's very exciting. You're in a very exciting place. I saw that you put together a mix for Carly, for Sister.
Yeah.
And I am obsessed with Carly. I think she is. It was so funny. She was also on the show on Femme House Radio, and she is such an insanely amazing interviewer herself, you know, that I found that, like, I would ask her a question and then, like, she would answer it, and then she would ask me, like, a question that was 45 times better, and I'd be like, wait, what's happening right now? I'm supposed to be interviewing you know, because she's just, like, so thoughtful and, like, kind and aware, and I mean, she is amazing. I love what she's another part of your girl gang. I mean, you really have so many amazing up and coming producer talents over there.
Do you know what? Carly's amazing. So we met each other. I think we started chatting through lockdown, and she came on my Instagram TV series that I was doing at the time in lockdown, and we met up and just really got on. And she was like, do you want to write some music together? And I was like, yeah, all right. So we did a Zoom session, and we wrote a track, and it's now being signed. And I think I can't confirm who's going to sing the track, but I've written the track, and she's produced it. I've written the vocal, and we're hopefully getting a really big singer on it. And
my God.
But she's really, really good at producing. Like, she only started in lockdown. And when we went in the studio, I was just watching her and I was just like, wow, how have you done this in less than a year? She's great.
That is
and a lovely person.
So, and she's such a hard worker that I had, when she told me that she was starting to produce and she took the Tool Room course or whatever it was. And I had no doubt that she was going to level up so quickly. She's such a hard worker. Yeah. And she was out in the middle of nowhere. She's like, I'm really in lockdown. So I'm like, this is really all I'm doing.
Yeah.
So your podcast Backstory, which dives into the stories of some amazing names in dance music, is amazing. It's fantastic. What was one of your favorite episodes from that series so far?
Oh, that's a good question. One of my favorite episodes was probably, there's been a few actually. So this is actually really hard to pick. I really enjoyed chatting to Deval from Disciples. He was just, I've never met him. Well, no, actually, I did meet him years ago, but we only briefly spoke because it was at Creamfields and it was a backstage interview, so it's really fast. But to speak to him on the podcast, I just really clicked with him and we really got on. And at the end of it, I was like, I want to be friends with you. He was great. But he was a really great guest.
That's awesome.
Yeah, really great guest.
That's wonderful. That's a great answer. What a legend.
Yeah.
So you're playing a ton of festivals this summer. Are you pumped to get back out there, or does it feel a bit like culture shock?
Do you know what? I was feeling a bit anxious at first. I was a bit like, whoa, this is going to be a lot. I've gone from DJing in my living room for the last year to DJing on stage in front of thousands of people. But now I'm so ready for it. I'm nervous, obviously, because everyone's going to be a bit nervous. But I'm just ready to get out there now. I just want to get on stage and do it.
Heck yes. I feel you so hard on that. I remember the first time that in the US we've been open for a bit longer, and the first festival I played, right before I went on stage, I remember thinking, is this job insanity? Because DJing, in live streaming in front of a tiny webcam, I had no nerves or whatever, and then it was the first time I'd remembered in a year that actually I get really nervous before every gig. And is it insanity to put yourself in this position where you like feel sick and like anxious, before every gig? And it was, but then the second you step up there and you feel all the energy from the crowd and the love, and it's just it's worth every single moment of anxiousness, for me at least. So I'm really excited for you to have that again and remind you why you love it so much.
Yeah, and I think it's good to put yourself in these scary positions and make yourself feel the fear. That's what life's about, isn't it? I think you've got to test yourself.
Totally. Yeah. And also the excitement and fear actually kind of like create the same feelings in your body. So if you focus on the excitement part, it's a little bit more doable. So enjoy all those festivals. Hopefully in a few weeks you'll be playing one. Yay. And thank you so much for being a guest on Femme House Radio. I'm a huge fan. I love what you're doing for the community and the art that you're making. And I'm really excited to watch you grow.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
This is LP Giobbi.
Listen up, children.
You are listening to Femme House Radio.
I said listen up, children.
On Diplo's Revolution, Sirius XM.
A wonderful night is made as much by the dancers as the music can have. Guided as much by the spirit of joy in the room as by the hand which reaches for the next record. Each of us has a role in tonight's experience. We all play in the band.
This is LP Giobbi, and I founded Femme House, a 501c3 foundation educational platform that teaches the technical areas of music making for women, non-binary, trans, and other marginalized gender identities. Every week, I will be interviewing and spotlighting women in music while bringing you the best dance tunes from around the world.